I'm going to answer one of your guys' question, and that is, how can I prevent the seller and the buyer discussing price, and how can I prevent, the buyer from going around my back or the seller going behind my back? Hi you guys, it's Kong. Welcome to my channel, Wholesale to Million. I'm not there physically to show the property. So how can I protect myself so that way I don't lose on the deal and being backstabbed? All right. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share with you guys my personal experience. So I don't know how other people do it. All right. I don't know how other wholesalers do it, and we wholesale property virtually, which means I don't see the property. I've never seen the property before. I've never met with the seller, and all done over through the phone. So I'm going to share with you my personal experience, how we do it. And so far we have been fortunate that none of our deals ever gone that way, where there was one time where the buyer did try to take the deal away from us, but it never did happen because we had that relationship with the seller. So it never did happen. So I'm going to share with you right now kind of how we do it. So, most of our buyers that we dealt with, either from another wholesaler that wants to co-wholesale our deal, where they have a buyer's list, and we send them our deals and they'll send it to their buyers. So most of their buyers, they have done business with them before, or they have already been verified, or a lot of time when it goes to time to showing, one of the co-wholesaler that sent that deal out to their buyer was actually going to be there, and we have built relationship with that co-wholesaler as well, right? I talked to him on the phone. I verify all the information. I want to get some, reference from, some of the business that they have done with, etc., just to verify, other buyers of ours has coming from a realtor, right? So, coming from a realtor, and, to us, realtor, they wouldn't want to do that, and they wouldn't want to ruin their they wouldn't want to ruin their reputation, but we still want to verify them. And typically the realtor that brings us the buyer is also somewhat an investor, right? Like a part-time investor, or they know how kind of this business operates, right? Which mean they know that you got it under contract and you're looking to find a cash buyer, and then you're going to sign the deal over to that buyer. And when we're on the phone with them, and typically when I come across new buyers, I want to make sure that we can get on the phone with them, chat with them, and make sure that you can feel comfortable and you can feel that you can trust them somewhat to go out and look at the property. Now, if it's on, so let's just say that a realtor brought us a buyer, and if it's the first time that we do business with that realtor, then we also want to make sure that we send somebody. So you got to have someone foot on the ground to go there to do the showing on your behalf. So it could be your friend, your brother, your sister, one of your family member, or one of your acquaintances, or somebody that you can trust. All they need to do is to go there and be there on behalf of you or your company, to make sure that buyers and seller doesn't discuss price. And before the buyer go out there to meet up with the seller, I prep my buyer up. I let him know that, hey, you know what? You are there on behalf of our company as a contractor to give us some repair costs, to look at the property and give us repair costs on the house. And then I prep the seller up, and I let him know that, hey, you know what? We're sending one of our contractors to go out there to look at the property, just to make sure that, that all the repair costs that we talk about is correct, that there's no major issue with the property, etc. Right? So once you prep the seller up, the seller knows that, hey, the contractor's going to be there, so there's no reason why he would discuss pricing of the sell price of the house with the contractor. And now you can't stop the buyer from talking price with the seller. I actually have already done one of this video, but it been a long time ago, And I know that, and I get this question asked so many times. And when I first started in this business, that was actually one of my concern as well, is that, if I'm not there, kind of the same thing that you guys are asking right now. And so I prep the buyer up, right? I prep the buyer up. So when the buyer goes out there, and then if I've never done business with that buyer again, or if I can't verify if that buyer is like, legit and had a good reputation, because maybe you can ask for reference from that buyer and see if you can make a couple phone call, right? But a lot of time, maybe some of your buyer could be on Craigslist. So people that's on Craigslist, and as we all know, it's really hard to know who's the real deal and who's not, right? So, so basically what it is that, you gotta have foot on the ground. You gotta get somebody that you can trust to go out there and do a showing. And when you tell your buyer, hey, you know what, I'm gonna have somebody on behalf of our company, it's gonna be there with you and the seller, please, and one of this day, I will do a live call. I would do a live call with a brand new cash buyer, and I'll share with you guys kind of how I talk to them as far as in showing the property and making sure that they, that they stay in line and not crossing that line. And so you got to have somebody there, and that's what I tell my buyers. And please, you can ask the seller anything you want regarding the property, because we're not here to hide anything from you. Ask the seller anything you want regarding the property, whatever it is that you want to know. But please don't discuss price, please respect us, and, and we're looking to do this business long-term, not a one-time deal with you. So please don't discuss price with the seller, but you can ask the seller anything about the property you want, and you're there. Act as if you are a contractor on our behalf to get us some repair costs. And that's what I tell the buyer. And like I said, if that's our first time doing business with them, then then we do have somebody foot on the ground that we send out. And you can just get, like I said, friend, family, acquaintance, pay them like $50 or $75 or $100, but always ask them, saying, hey, you know what, I just need you to go out there and be there. And you just, you there just to take picture and making sure that, the buyers and the seller doesn't discuss price, but just feel free to let the buyers ask any question about the property, but don't let them discuss price. And typically when you have somebody there on your behalf of your company, the buyer will not cross the line. Now, and if $50 or $75 for like them being out there for like, less than an hour, so that's how we pay them. We pay them per visit, and it's $50. And if anything that's longer than an hour, then she charges about $25. But that's all she does, is she goes there and she just makes sure that the buyers and seller obviously doesn't cross that line, and just take some photo for us. So get some foot on the ground. If you can, connect with other wholesaler, connect with other bird dogs in the area. Try to reach out to your local RIA, and I'm sure that you'll be able to find somebody that can partner up and they'll be able to do that for you. Or maybe you say, hey, maybe if we end up closing the deal, I'll pay you after we close the deal. I can pay you a little bit more after we close the deal instead of paying you a small fee up front. Maybe you close it and you'd be like, hey, you pay him like, $200, $250, $300, whatever it is, or $500 just for them just to show up there for an hour. So it's really depend on how you're gonna negotiate with that person, okay? But that's typically how we do it. And now, could you stop the buyer from going, after the showing and coming back and talking to the seller? No, you cannot. I know that there is a contract that you can send out to your buyer. It's a NCD. It's a non-compete disclosure. So, which means in X amount of time, like in a year or so, they cannot they cannot buy that property unless it goes through you, right? Unless it goes through you. So yes, there is that kind of contract, but don't let it stop you because you worry that the buyer's going to go out there and they're going to do that. it's really, really rare that that's going to happen, right? Everybody's in this business, you know, they want a long-term business if they are a legit buyer. So you want to verify and you want to do everything you can, you know, and if you want to send out that contract to them to, you know, to sign, you can too. But you can't stop them from, let's just say, what I'm saying is that you cannot stop somebody if they truly want it to go around your back and truly want to, truly want to go around your back and steal the deal from you. They can have one of their friends, they can have one of their partners, they can have one of their family comes back, right? Or they can have another bird dog, another wholesaler comes back, and then go around your back that way. So don't let it stop you. Go ahead and verify, do what you can, send it out there, get somebody, get somebody on the ground there, get somebody on the ground there to make sure they're on there, on the behalf of your company. And, I think, to me, that's good enough. I have never had to send any contract out, to my buyers, to sign, because I'm afraid they go behind my back. So to me, it's like, I verify them. And then I just move forward, go ahead, line up that showing, and then if they end up going behind your back, then that's a one-time thing. You never do business with them again, and it's going to be, to me, everybody know if they do business in that area, everybody know that it's a small world, it's a small town, and if they set bad reputation, it's going to go around and it's going to destroy them, right? They're not going to be able to do business with you, with other people again. So, but if that's their intention, if that's truly their intention and they want to steal the deal, it's really hard for you to stop that from happening. So don't let that fear hold you back from executing, from sending the buyer out there, and so they can look at the property and do whatever they needed to do, so that way you can move forward and close on the deal. So even if you can't find somebody that is there to do the showing for you, go ahead and prep the buyer up, go ahead and prep the seller up, and just go ahead and let them know that, hey, you know what, we're in this business for long term. We want to create a relationship with you. Let them know that, hey, you know what, just let them know that, hey, we this is what we do for a living. We find great deal for an investor like you that wants to fix and flip, and and we want this to not be the last deal that we do together. We want to do a lot of deal with you, and we want to build that relationship. So a lot of times when you tell them that, it's not a one-time deal that you want to do multiple deal. So so in anybody's right mind, they're not going to go and ruin it just for one deal. But if you can't find anybody that's foot on the ground that's going to help you do the showing, and you're scared and you fear that they're going to go behind your back and steal and lose the deal, I said, you know what, do whatever you can and just move forward and just go ahead and do it. And then eventually you'll be able to put a team in place. When you first start out, it's going to be a little bit tough, right? It's going to be a little bit tough. It's going to be a little bit rough. Trying to put all the puzzles together, trying to put everybody onto your team so that way you can do it. But eventually, all the puzzle will come together, and you'll be able to do it, and you'll be able to build a team, that can help you in doing this. But what I'm sharing with you is go ahead and do it, and then don't let the fear just stop you, okay? But that's how we do it, is that we actually have somebody that will go to the showing appointment. But before we found this gal that can actually do it for us, before that, all of my buyers, like I said, is coming from other co-wholesale or coming from agents, or I would pay somebody I would pay somebody on other wholesaler, and that's what I would propose to them, is saying, hey, you know what, if you want to go out there, I got a solid buyer on this deal. If you want to go out there and do a quick showing for about an hour, what would you like to get for that if we end up closing the deal? And I also done it the other way, where I have new agents, right? New real estate agents that I said, hey, would you mind going out there and doing a showing? And these real estate agents, it's also, they got their license because they also want to become an investor. So because I know they were in the local RIA and the meetup. I called them up, right? I called them up, and then that's what I proposed to them is, hey, I got this deal here, and they're used to showing, right? They're used to showing property, and all you do is just kind of let them know that, hey, the buyer's going to be there, the seller, and this is what you know, I want you to be there for. And I actually got agents to do that for me. And you know, some of them I pay them $100 per trip. Some I pay $150. Some I pay $75. Some say, hey, Kong, you know what? After you close the deal, then just pay me a little bit more than the one trip. I end up having to pay them $250 to $500. So anyways, you guys, that's my tips. Hopefully this helped you guys out. So if you do like this video, don't be shy, and it does help you, give you somewhat of a tip, smash that thumbs up for me. And if you want to join the family and you haven't subscribed, then smash that subscribe button. Join the family, join the channel, join the journey. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.